Hello, hello. Okay, so we are live. All right, Zeth, Zeta, Rex. Welcome, 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 welcome. We're gonna have some fun today. I'm just gonna wait till everyone comes in before we get started. You missed me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can't. So as you come in, hit the like button. And as you know, they shadow ban me and all the foolishness and all the, you know how they operate. E. Carter, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. We're just going to give it a minute. Okay. Decoded. I know you're not Zeta Reticuli. Okay, decoded memories. Welcome. As you come in, hit the like button. Okay, guys, I'm just going to give it 5 minutes for people to come in. And tonight we're going to discuss some really fascinating topics. But before we discuss these topics, in between, we're going to be doing fundraising because I got to do a fundraising campaign. Insightful Andrea, welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you. As you come, hit the like button. Okay, I'm going to give everyone like 5 minutes. So, E. Carter, I'm going to be in the background sending out messages. When people come in, just tell them we're waiting for 5 minutes and I'll be back. Thank you, E. Carter. Right. Okay. All right, guys. So everyone, thank you so much for coming. Let me just let everyone know. As you know, they what is it? They do a lot of shadow banning. So, whatever. All right, I'm just gonna do a quick roll call before we get started. So tonight we're doing fundraising. I am fundraising because I need some very important things. And I would like to know if people would be interested in supporting. As you know, I never pressure you guys to donate or to join or to do anything like that, because I feel like I shouldn't have to, and it's kind of like not my style. But this is one time where I do, in fact, need to do fundraising. And my goal is $1,000. So if you guys would like to donate, that would be greatly appreciated. And it would help me on the next phase. Okay. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. Um, and I should be able to give you guys a heads up in the future. Decoded, thank you so much. So I'm kind of like working on this fundraising within this week, you know, hopefully by the end of next Friday. Okay. So there's a lot going on that I'd like to tell you guys about, but I can't talk about it now. All right. I can when I'm done, I'll give you guys an update. So guys, that's my goal. My goal is 1,000. It's like it's not really a lot. So if you do appreciate what I do and you'd like to be a part of the fundraising campaign, these are the three links you can use. You can do Cash App. Okay. The links are in the live chat. You can do via the website. Okay. And you can do via my PayPal link. Okay. So thank you so much. My goal is 1,000, and I hope that you guys can help me achieve that. And I appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm not going to call out people's names, but I am going to tell everyone thank you. Okay. Because that's not my style. So I'm not going to call out anyone's name, but I am going to say thank you to everyone now and throughout the week for helping me achieve this goal. Hopefully, within a month, I'll be able to give you guys like good news, and within a month, I'll tell you guys some of the things that's been going on. Okay, tonight is going to be one of those nights where you're going to be like, thank goodness that you are on this channel. Okay. Thank goodness you're on this channel. So let me just tell everyone now, I'm not going to call out individual names, but I am going to tell everyone thank you, as I always do, for supporting me. Like I said, I don't pressure people to donate. I don't pressure people to support, you know, but if I need it, I'll just be like, hey guys, I need support. This is what I'd like to do. Can you guys assist me in that? And I appreciate it. All right. So to everyone who supported and continues to support and will support the fundraising efforts, thank you so much. And hopefully within a month, I'll be able to like give you guys a heads up. Okay. Again, thank you. Tonight is one of those nights. Okay. Let me just hide this. Tonight is one of those nights where you're going to be very happy that you came, you supported, and I'm going to be talking about the fundraising um like every 10 minutes or every 20 minutes. Okay. Decoded, thank you so much. Wildflower, thank you. To everyone who donated, thank you. Let's get started. So like about every 20 minutes, I'm going to talk about it. Okay. So the first thing, okay, so the fundraising is out. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to get to this article. Okay. That's what we're going to start. Matter of fact, I don't know which we're going to do first. Should we do? Okay, let's see. I think we're going to start with okay. Select. Hold on. Okay, let's see here. We're going to start here. All right. I need to know if everyone can see this. That's where we're going to start. All right. Can everyone see what's on the page? I should have edited this a little bit. Okay, great. Hold on, let me just do a quick edit. Okay, I did edit, okay. All right, okay. So this is great. We're gonna start there. I wonder why this is showing at the bottom. Okay, I know why. It's showing my all right, let me just make this bigger so you guys can see. All right, wonderful. We're gonna do a decode. So I've trained you guys to see, okay? You have to put on your third eye in order to decode on the screen. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna decode the seals, the back of the dollar bill. And we're gonna decode this because you need to understand what's coming and the significance of what they're saying. I believe this is an ancient code that was decoded and given to me. And I'm going to share it with you guys. There's a lot about the code that I can't talk about. But what I can talk about and get your insight on, we're going to talk about. Right? Okay, wonderful. E. Carter, thank you for that. So we're decoding. Let me zoom in to make this bigger. Okay, wonderful. Let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Perfect. All right, we're going to decode the seals, okay? The seal, the first seal and the second seal. And then we're going to decode everything around it. Okay? All right. Before you decode, I need you guys to put on your training caps, your spiritual eye that I trained you guys to use. Okay? All right. So when you look at the code on the left and the code on the right, what's the first civilization that comes to mind when you look at these codes? Egypt, excellent. Anybody? Egypt, wonderful. Egypt, okay, great. Only 3 people saw Egypt. Only 3 people. Okay, the answer is Egypt. Wonderful. Nobody else? Okay, great. Egypt. Okay, 4 people. All right, guys, come on. Okay, so Egypt. So it tells us that there is some sort of correlation between Egypt, the United States, and their financial system. right? Because it's the dollar bill. It's the number one traded currency still today, and it's associated with the United States, and it has some sort of ancient Egyptian connection because there's a pyramid and then there is a falcon. In America, they call it the eagle, but because there's a pyramid to the left of it, then the right would be a falcon, right? Okay. Now, in the middle, we see what, okay, I'm circling. What number do we see in the middle? These are not trick questions. I'm circling it right now. What number do we see in the middle? We're doing decodes. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, great. 1, right? Okay. At the top of 1, they're telling you that they trust in. What are they telling you they put their trust in? I'm going to circle it. Exactly. God, backwards dog. Wonderful. Welcome, K. Wright. Okay, great. So, on the back of the US financial system, the dollar, right? Which up till today is still the number one reserve currency. We know where this is going, yada, 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 right? The seals are from Egypt, which means the financial system and the deity, the god, is Egyptian, right? Okay. Now, when someone hands you something with a seal, in order to read what's inside the seal, what must you do to the seal? We're decoding tonight. Okay? We are decoding tonight. Someone hands you something with a seal. You have to do what to the seal in order for you to read what's in it? You got to break the seal. You got to open it. Well done. These are the seals. One to the left, one to the right. We're going to look at the seal on the left. Okay? We're going to look at the seal on the left. Okay? Now you're going to use your third eye. You're not going to use the eye that you can see. So the eyes that you're looking with to see is not the eye you're going to use. I need you to understand that when you're dealing with African spirituality, what you see is what you don't see. And what you don't see is what you see. Okay? All right? Thank you, Zeth, for that. You just answered a question. Okay. So with your two eyes, when you look in the middle, you see a pyramid. That is not what I want you to see. Okay? And then at the top of the pyramid, you see an eye in the middle, and you see the capstone surrounded by light. Okay? That is not what I want you to see. Now I want you to see the seal because we're going to break the seal tonight. Let me ask you a question. What defines a man? Everyone follow, because I'm going to teach you how to break the seal. What makes a man a man? Don't be afraid to say it. What do men have that women don't? What organ do men have that women don't? Don't be afraid to say it. K. Wright, a phallus. When you look at the pyramid, don't you see a phallus, the top of the phallic symbol, the top of the phallus, okay, that ejaculated? Aren't you seeing it? Thank you, E. Carter. I'm just talking about the top of it, not the whole thing. Not the whole thing, just the head. I'm showing you something. We're going to break the seal. Yes, Andrea. Yes, K. Wright. Anybody else? 22 people. Only 4 people answered. Thank you, Wildflower, Goddess. Come on, Andrea. K. Wright. Yes, yes, yes. Decoded. E. Carter. Yes, yes, yes. Leilani. Just the top. Now we're getting to the top of the top, where we get to the pyramid with the eye. At the top of a man's penis, there's a hole that looks like an eye. Do you see it? Do you see it? Are you beginning to see this seal? Beautiful, right? Okay, when a man ejaculates, light covers the very top of where the eye is. Are you seeing it? So if this seal, when you break it, is what, okay, let me put it this way. What gender is this seal? Spirit, welcome. What gender is this seal? We just broke the seal. What's the gender? Male. Bravo. Well done. So this seal, bingo, K, right? Thank you. Male deity, because it says in God. In God. Bravo. So this seal is male, and the male symbol goes up. Okay, we're going to go to the other seal, which is going to be a little bit more complicated. Okay. Now we're inside the seal. We're on the other seal. Everyone press 1 if they can see the other seal. And I only want you to answer my question. Okay? Okay. Now, remember, this is Egypt. Okay? This is Africa. Okay? To the plain eye, you see an eagle. That's not what we're looking for. That is not the spiritual eye I want you to use. Do you see a face? Do you see a face? Or perhaps I need to draw the face for you. Press yes if you see a face. Not one, press yes if you see a face. Hold on. Okay, let's just let's see if I can erase this. I probably can't, but whatever. All right. Okay. All right. Everyone sees a face, right? Okay, great. So if this is the left side and it's male, then this side is what gender? Female. Great. Okay. So let me close this one out and let me pull this one up. Okay. I'm just going to get a clean one. Ah, da, dee, dee, dee. All right. So we're back to this side. Okay. Okay. All right. So everyone saw the face, right? All right. So now we're going to look at the back again. Male on your left, female on your right. One. What are they saying? Male, female, one. What are they saying? If they're telling you when a man ejaculates, okay, and I want to show you something before we move on. No, look at this. I want you to pay attention to the detail. This is the man ejaculating. Okay? His ejaculation goes up. Look at what's at the top of the ejaculation. That's a wave, right? That's a wave. Can everyone agree that that's a wave? I want you to pay attention to the detail of what is being said. Okay? Is this a wave at the top? He's ejaculating. Thank you, E. Carter. Thank you, Maria Jo. Pay attention to my questions. Okay, so the wave is carrying the sperm to the right. Boom, we get to the right. There's a wave receiving the sperm. Boom. Let's zoom in. It receives the sperm. And at the top, what is this? The wave looks like a fallopian tube. Well done, PDR. You guys are seeing. So when the ejaculation moves, it ends up where? Fertilizing an egg. Are you guys seeing? You guys seeing? Fertilizing an egg. Now notice, look at the eagle. Sorry if I zoom in too much, you can't see. Notice the eagle is grasping a wreath. Well, it's not a wreath, it's more like a ribbon, but the ribbon looks like sperm in its mouth. Okay? We're dealing with occultists here. So when it comes to occult, there's always a sexual connotation that underlays everything they do in the occult. The eagle holds what? Could that be the umbilical cord? Yes, PDR, you're going, you're thinking, you guys are seeing. Is that an umbilical cord the eagle is holding in its mouth? Oh, I'm going to show you. Okay? Remember, this is the female, and she's inside of a seal, and the seal has to be broken, and we're breaking the seal. Okay, so let's get back. Okay? Let me just stop for 1 minute. All right, so guys, let me just stop for 1 quick minute because I said I was going to do this. Guys, we're doing fundraising because I need to raise some funds. Sorry to stop, but got to do it. Okay, you can Cash App to support me. You can Cash App. I'll make it quick. You can PayPal. It'll be greatly appreciated. Or you can donate on the website. I have to raise about $1,000. Okay, I don't like to pressure you guys for money, but this is one time that I need it, and I really appreciate your support. Okay, so guys, those are the links. So Cash App, PayPal, or the website. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your support. Okay, so let's continue, and I'm gonna do that in another 20 minutes. Okay, all right. So the left side is a male at the top of his penis. He's ejaculating. Okay, the wave is carrying the sperm. On the right side, it's a female. The wave receives the ejaculation and fertilizes an egg, right? Okay. Now it's telling you the left side is male, the right side is female. When male and female get together, you end up with one. Okay, what are they telling you when the male Ausa and the female Auset come together? You end up with what? Ausa, Auset, you get Heru. Isis, Osiris, you get a baby. Okay, so watch this, pay attention. Ausa, Auset, you will get Heru. Pay attention. No, I need you guys to be specific because you're dealing with something very powerful, and we're living in a time where you need to crack this code. So don't just tell me baby, don't just tell me life. Who will you get? Look at this. When Ausa on the left meets with Auset on the right, one, and they come together as one, who is created? K. Wright said Heru. Okay, Let's translate this to Greek. When Osiris meets Isis and they become one, okay? Even though these are two testicles here. Here we go, two testicles and a penis. And they become one. Osiris and Isis gives birth to, okay, what's the name? What's the name? Horus. So who is the God they're waiting for? In God we trust. They are waiting for Ausa to ejaculate, for the wave to impregnate Auset, so that when Ausa and Auset comes together as one, a God will be born. Is anyone in the building? Is anyone on earth today? Let me ask you a question. If this is not important and we are not living in the time that they're about to fulfill this, what are they saying that they're about to bring about? The new world, what? The new world, what? Order. In order to bring about the new world order, their God has to come. Now, I don't believe the Egyptian gods are evil. You know me, I don't believe anything the Bible tells me. I don't believe the Egyptian gods are evil. I don't. But I do believe the knowledge was corrupted. I believe the knowledge is extremely corrupted. Because they tell you, annuit coeptus, okay, which is Latin. They tell you novus ordo seclorum. This shouldn't be written in Latin because you're dealing with something older than Latin. Okay? Novus ordo seclorum, New World Order. Okay? This should not be Latin. This should be Egyptian. But the fact that it's written in Latin tells you that it's corrupted. Because it should be in Egyptian because the symbols are Egyptian. By the way, this emblem is an Egyptian emblem, the falcon, and the falcon protects its female and it protects the pharaoh. The falcon is a female. So you know this seal is female. Here's where it gets even crazier. We're going to go right in. Let's start on the left. Okay. Now, look at this symbol. Doesn't this look, when you flip it upside down, because when you're dealing with the occult, you have to watch things upside down. When you flip it upside down, doesn't it look like it's going into something? What does it look like, people? We discussed it earlier. The head of a... Thank you, Kay Wright. I need you guys to write it. Come on, let's write it. Doesn't... Thank you, Queen. Are you seeing? Are you guys seeing it? When you're dealing in the mysteries, you got to flip things upside down to understand what they mean. It's showing you that it's going into something. And remember, this is the male part. And it's showing you that it's releasing into something. Okay. What is it releasing into? What do you see? Don't you see a woman with her two legs opened? Okay, no, I don't want to do that. Let me cancel it. All right, I wish I had a highlighter. Okay, do you see a woman with her two legs opened? Do you see the clit? Do you see the ovaries? Do you see the cervix? Do you see the rectum? Do you see it? Do you see if he is ejaculating and light is coming from the eye of the head of his penis? And the waves, notice the waves are even carrying it here. Boom. Pass the vulva and the clitoris. And look at the middle. They made the middle bigger. The vulva. Do you see it? Her legs are open to receive. Do you see it? It goes up into the cervix, up into the ovaries, and boom, fertilization. And they're telling you, when the man, we're waiting for a man. Listen, they are telling you, if they are telling you they are weeks away from launching the New World Order, and it tells you that before the New World Order can happen, or in order to bring about the New World Order, they have seals, ancient seals. But when you turn on the television, they're telling you we're months away from the New World Order. Could it be that the seals have been broken and the male Egyptian deity, even though I think this is corrupted, and there's a reason why I say it's corrupted knowledge, because this is an Egyptian symbol, but they encased the seal in Latin. It should be in Egyptian. So it tells you that it's going to be Roman. It's not going to be Egyptian. The symbols are Egyptian, but the seals are encased in Latin. That's my point, Queen. But watch this. This is what I want you guys to get. In order for the New World Order to kick off, they have to find the male who is a descendant of Ausa. They have to find a female who descends from Auset. When Ausa impregnates Auset, the seals are broken because the God has been born. And the God, let's flip it upside down, will bring you novus ordo seclorum. Novus ordo seclorum. The new world order. Okay? They are either looking for Alsar's bloodline, Osiris. They are looking, or they found, Isis's bloodline, or Oset. And they have either created Heru or Jesus. Heru is Jesus. Heru or Jesus or Horus. Or they are in the process of getting Isis's eggs to be fertilized. People, this is not a joke. These are seals. These seals must be broken. So Isis's bloodline is somewhere on the planet. Isis is Auset. That is her correct name. Ausar's bloodline is on the planet. Ausar in Greek is, what's his name? Osiris in Greek. Where is Horus? Now, okay, let me post this. Does it make sense now? Does it make sense the last couple of years, the last 3 years, or the last 10 years with DNA testing? Is it making sense with the DNA testing? Here's my question. Did they find, or did Ausar come back to Earth? And is Ausar, who is Osiris, looking for Isis's bloodline? Is anybody on planet Earth today yes, and we're going to get to part 2 to prove this statement. Okay? You guys following? Notice what they wanted. Why would they want your DNA for a virus? Okay? Do not forget this, the back of this, as things progress on this planet. Okay? All right. Let me stop sharing for a second. Okay, guys, quick advertisement. Really quickly. Guys, I'm doing a fundraiser. Okay? That's the Cash App. I would greatly appreciate it if I have helped you guys in any way. I would appreciate it if you guys can help me in this one thing because I need it. If I didn't need it, I wouldn't ask. Okay? Okay. So this is the Cash App if you want to assist. If I've helped you in any way, if I've helped your life in any way, I greatly appreciate it. This is the PayPal if you want to donate. And this you can donate via the website. Okay? All right, guys. Let's get to part 2. Now this is a long part 2, but I need you guys to follow me here, okay? I greatly appreciate you guys assisting me, okay? That's the question, chemistry. What happens after they find the bloodline? All I know is the back says very clearly, okay? The back says very clearly, Osiris must impregnate Isis. There is no New World Order without Osiris or Ausa impregnating Isis. Okay? Right? All right. Now let's get to the real cuckoo parts of the sheer and utter madness. Okay. Part 2. Okay. Got to make sure everyone can see the screen. Okay. All right. Can everyone see the screen? Press 1 if you can see the screen. Okay, great. Anybody else? Press 1 if you can see the screen. We're going to be moving really fast on this. Thank you, Carter. Thank you, Decoded. Come on, guys. Press 1. 1, 1, 1. 1 is free. Come on, let's press it. Leilani, thank you. Guys, 1 is free. All right, Avion, come on, let's do it. All right. So, we learned in part 1, there is no New World Order without God being born. They are searching for, or they have found, Isis's bloodline. Osiris is on earth, or they're searching for Osiris's bloodline, or they have it. Ausa must impregnate Auset. There is no New World Order without it. Okay? There is no New World Order without Ausa impregnating Auset and giving birth to Heru. Okay? There's no New World Order without it. Now we're going to the second part. Guys, I need everyone to follow me. Let me post this link. Okay. Everyone, read this link. That's the link that's on the screen. Okay. Diplomat Magazine, Sunday, March 19, 2023. And the wind cries, Jeffrey, biohacking humans with DNA, nanotechnology, Internet of Things, and 5G. You got to follow me on this one. Could it be that the vaccines, the quacks, they want to push on us using the plandemon as a pretext, are connected to some kind of deranged transhumanistic scenario? I want to make sure, let me zoom in because you guys got to see this. Okay. You guys got to see this. I thought he was dead. I highlighted it. Epstein. What? Vaccines? Quacks? And Epstein? The quacks and Epstein? Epstein had a maniacal goal to seed the entire human race with his DNA. What did we just look at? Jeffrey Epstein had a goal to seed the entire human race with his DNA. What did we just look at? Ausa must impregnate Auset to give birth to Heru. Remember, I said to you, the knowledge is corrupted because the seals are Egyptian, but superimposed on the seals is Latin. And remember it said, Ausa must impregnate Auset to give birth to Heru. So they're saying the corrupted interpretation of this Egyptian Kemetic symbology of a Christos, they're saying that their Ausa, their Auset must give birth to a new race, Jeffrey Epstein. If I read between the lines correctly, watch this, the fulfillment of this deed, watch this, would take injecting his genetic code into the DNA of every human. What did we just see? Didn't we see the pyramid injecting their genetic code into the female? And the mitochondrial DNA of the female is what gives the human race the blueprint. Didn't we just see that? The genetic blueprint for the human race is in the female mtDNA, the ISIS codes. This is saying, don't get me wrong, I know, males and females, 50% male, 50% female. I know. I'm talking about the blueprint for humanity is passed through the females. What did we just see on the back of the dollar bill? We just saw, hold on. Okay, I don't know how to add that. Now let's continue. I don't know how to add it, so oops. We just saw the pyramid injecting its code into the uterus. But remember, I said to you, this knowledge is corrupted because the seal was not written in Egyptian. I said the seal was written in Latin. Therefore, the knowledge and the interpretation is going to be different. If it was the true seal, if it was the right interpretation, if it was the right genetic code, it would have been written in ancient Egyptian. So when you hear people talking about the pharaohs were evil, I ask them, were you there? Of course I wasn't there. How do you know the pharaohs were? Because I learned the pharaohs were evil because of the Bible told me so. The knowledge has been corrupted. When knowledge leaves its original source, it never stays the same. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say you have 10 gossipers in a row, 10 gossipers lined up. The first person said, "Oh, did you hear Steve fell down and broke his knee?" By the time it gets to the 10th person, removed 10 times, Steve did not fall and break his knee. Steve is a rapist. This is an analogy. This is an example. Why? Because the knowledge left the original source and then traveled from translation to translation to translation to translation, and it always ends up corrupt. So what we're witnessing, let me open this again because I got to see if I can show you. It's going to be, your problem is not ancient Egypt. Your problem is knowledge is corrupt. The knowledge is corrupt. Hold on. Let's see if I can show this on the screen here. There's no way for me to show this. Damn. I have to stop sharing and then go back and share again. All right, let me stop sharing and then let me present, share screen, yada, yada. I'll just close it out. Okay, remember what I said. This should not be the language of the seal. You're dealing with something that is Egyptian. The seal is written in Roman. It tells you that the knowledge will be corrupt. It tells you that the interpretation of what they will do, it tells you that the interpretation of what they're planning is not going to be the original intent. The problem is not the pharaohs. And who will get blamed? The blame will be because people will remember the image, the symbols, more than they will remember the words. They're going to blame the pharaohs for those who have corrupted knowledge. So remember, when I read the article, remember, this is the seal these entities are using. Is everyone following? This Egyptian symbols and seals they're using, but they're using it with corrupted knowledge because the seal is not written in Egyptian. It means that the fact that it's written in Latin is telling you we are Latinizing, we are Romanizing our interpretation of the great seals of Egypt to bring about the new man. Okay? We're dealing with hijacked, corrupted knowledge. Okay? So where Al-Sa impregnates Al-Set and gives you Heru, let me show you what they're trying to do. Let me show you their interpretation. Al-Sa, their Al-Sa, which is Osiris, the Greek interpretation. I don't know the Roman gods, the Roman equivalent, because this is Rome, is going to impregnate Al-Set, the Roman Al-Set. And they're going to bring about a new human species. That is the interpretation. A new man. Thank you, Insightful. They're going to bring about Al-Sa for them, for the ancient Egyptians. It's Al-Sa impregnating Al-Set and giving you Heru, a savior of the world. But you're dealing in corrupted knowledge. They are going to say the Roman Osiris, which is the Greek name, and the Roman Isis, which is the Greek name. It is not the name that the Egyptians called it. The commissions will give you one new man, not a savior, a blueprint. And that blueprint will be the God we will trust. Bingo. Bingo. And if you look at this, AI, AI, watch this. AI. Do you see it? AI. AI. Do you see it? One. Watch this. The AI is binary. 1 and zeros. 1 and zeros. 1 and zeros, people. Let's continue. It's going to get more evil, so brace yourself. Okay. All right. So we see that their interpretation of the ancient Kemetic text, we see the injection of the genetic code into the maternal lines to bring about their one world order. But who's behind it? Who is corrupting this text? Who is injecting genetic code into every human being and how they're doing it? Let's read. However, spreading his genetic footprint on the whole of humanity. Let me go back. Epstein. Epstein. We're at Epstein. For those of you who's saying he's dead, give me a break. Okay? However, spreading his genetic footprint on the whole of humanity by impregnating a bunch of victims, as was indicated by loose talk, did not seem realistic. Now we're going to get into how it was done. It is well known that Epstein hung out with prominent scientists from Harvard and MIT. So why did he so lavishly fund synthetic biology and genetic engineering? Who funded synthetic biology and genetic engineering? Who funded it? The article told you who funded it. Come on, guys. I just told you who funded it. Write the name. You know the answer. I just told you. Right here. Epstein. Thank you. Who funded synthetic biology and genetic engineering? Thank you. Okay. Let me ask you a question. What's in the squibbly dibbly? What's in the liquid Lucifer? What's in the Jim Jones Joy Juice? Isn't it synthetic biology? Isn't synthetic biology in the squibbly dibbly? Doesn't the squibbly dibbly engineer your genes? Let me say it again. The squibbly dibbly, the Jim Jones Joy Juice, isn't there synthetic biology in there? Press yes. Doesn't it engineer your genes? Press yes. Do you see the back of the dollar bill? Remember, and they will blame ancient Egypt when it is not ancient Egypt that is behind this, when it is not the gods of ancient Egypt behind this. It is the corruption of knowledge that is behind this. Synthetic biology and genetic engineering, it gets worse. Epstein not only donated his own funds, but also served as an intermediary with wealthy donors, soliciting millions of dollars in donations from individuals and organizations, including technologist Bill Gates. Decoded, you got it. Watch this. Numerous Harvard geneticists, if you are implanted with technology, 9 times out of 10, it runs through this university, have accepted Epstein's donations. He has since, like many others, issued an apology. Another example of Harvard scientist is Charles Lieber. Charles Lieber, watch this, was arrested for undisclosed Wuhan Harvard connection, setting up a secret biotech lab in China. Put a pin in the word biotech. Okay? Put a pin in this word biotech, because we're going to show you who's behind the biotech. Watch this. I hope you're sitting down. Press 1 if you're sitting, because if you're not sitting, you're going to need to be sitting for this one. If you're not sitting, you're going to need to be sitting for this one. Okay. What if Epstein's reason for taking an interest in genetic science was precisely to plan to seed his genes throughout humanity through worldwide coaxination? Did anyone hear what I just said? I said, did anyone hear what I just said? No, you guys didn't hear what I just said. Because if you heard what I just said, you wouldn't be typing 1. You'd be saying, whoa. A worldwide mandatory vaccination would certainly require a global pandemic as a pretext. That plan, although gargantuan undertaking, would be certainly more feasible than seeding his DNA by impregnating a few dozen or hundreds of rape victims. What if the plan included biohacking humans worldwide with nanotechnology devices? Okay, let me break it down for you. Is there one tribe who controls the banking system? Press 1. One tribe that controls the banking system. One tribe that controls the real estate. One tribe. Remember, Al-Sa must impregnate Al-Set in order to bring forth Heru. Heru is the savior of the earth. Remember, that is on the back of the dollar bill, which tells you they took Egyptian symbols that belongs to Black Africans and put it on the back of the dollar bill and then superimposed Rome on the seal, saying, we're going to bring about our new world order. That is why I said to you, the problem is not the pharaohs. The problem is thieves are stealing the ancient history of other people and twisting it to create their interpretation of what it means, like the 10th person removed in a group of gossipers. You following? Let's continue. It gets worse. In other words, what if the end game is not just creating an Epsteinian chimera out of every human being, but also controlling the genetically modified human beings with injected nanoparticles, networked by AI and Internet of Things? Here's my question. Hold on. Just like it's already done on GMO animals. Is this the reason why we need the super fast and efficient 5G networks? By the way, this article is an article written by a diplomat for diplomats. You see it here to the left. This is a diplomatic magazine. Okay? All right. We know that major IT corporations such as IBM and Microsoft, IBM is Nazi, Microsoft is the 13th tribe, develop systems for biotechnology analytics with 5G. They will have the technical infrastructure to connect practically, watch this, an infinite number of nano devices, super efficiently and control them in real time. Who was the one telling you they are creating criminals? Who told you they're creating criminals? Who was the one that told you they are creating criminals? They are creating rapists. They are creating, and don't get me wrong, I believe that there are people who are genuinely gay. Okay? That is not who I'm talking about. I am talking about the ones they have created using technology. When someone robs a bank, are they really robbing the bank? Or did someone create the bank robber? When someone murders someone, are they murdering them? Or did someone put technology into the person and turn them into a murderer? When someone is addicted to drugs, are they really addicted to drugs? Or did someone with technology turn them into a drug addict? They're telling you they have been doing it and they are capable of doing it. And the two criminals that are behind it, Jeffrey Epstein and the insectoid himself, Bill Gates. It gets worse. There were numerous other top scientists involved in the network of global pedophiles and underage sex organizations, human trafficking enterprises. Watch this. Biotech and bioweapons industry. Look at this. Look at the industries. Child sex organizations. What? There are organizations for child sex? Human trafficking enterprises. Enterprises? That means it's huge. Biotech and bioweapons industry. Oh, I'm going to show you guys something. Watch this. AI revolution and vaccine depopulation cartel. One of them being frequent flyer on Epstein Island. His name was Marvin Minsky, a member of the tribe. He was a renowned Harvard educated AI pioneer, inventor of the modern VR and augmented reality systems, founder of MIT's AI lab, and a friend of geneticist George Church. Interstate Bio Networks. Okay? Watch this. 2017, Bill Gates and CEPI, his foundation, with governments in Norway, India, Japan, Germany, and the UK. Pay attention. The goal of the organization is to accelerate, speed up the development of quack, quack, quack. We'll need to contain outbreaks for future epidemics. So what is he doing? He's using advances in genomics, which is mapping the DNA and RNA and pathogens to make vaccines after they release the so-called pandemics. It gets worse. It goes into Lucius Trust, but that's not what I want to show you. Let me show you someone else who's also invested in this. Lucius Trust is funded by Soros. Soros funds, remember when I told Black people, run from this organization? Soros funds who just received, let me remove this, who just received 89 billion. You think the 89 billion is going to reduce wrongful imprisonment, of which 50% of the black men in prison have been wrongfully imprisoned? You think it's going to reduce obesity, bad health? No, the 89 billion is for this. Another great donor, Soros, was also invested about 4 million to become shareholders of Wuxi Aptech Group, Chinese American joint venture biotech holding company in Shanghai. What do you think the 89 billion or the 89 million for BLM is for? What group of people does BLM represent? What color people does BLM represent? Black people, right? Okay. Now you see what the $89 billion is for. It's to get this shit in your body. It gets worse. Let's continue. Okay, they're involved in all this foolishness. Okay? This is where it gets crazy. Hackable nanoparticles in digital software. Wait, hold on. Digital software? You mean to tell me mRNA quack, quack, quack is digital software? Is anyone on planet Earth today? Let me do a quick commercial break because this is long. Okay, guys, this is the link to support via Cash App. This is the link to support. We're doing a quick commercial break. This is the link to support via PayPal. Guys, I really need your help because I want to get this done. And this is the link to support via the website. Oops. That was a mistake. It gets worse, people. Hey, guys, please remember to support me, okay? Thank you for that. Let's continue. Okay? All right. Wait. Hold on. mRNA quack, quack, quack. Thank you, Decoded. I really appreciate it. If I didn't need it, I wouldn't ask. I need it this time. mRNA quack, quack, quack is digital software. Let me say this again. mRNA quack, quack, quack is digital software. Let's continue. It gets worse. Okay, so the number one donor to BLM is a major agenda contribution to the World Economic Forum. And the World Economic Forum launched SEPI, which is the insectoid. They are both donors of biotech based out of Cambridge, Massachusetts, called Murder RNA, which is part of MIT Biotech Group. By the way, all of this network is responsible for ruining my life, ruining Melinda's life. at ruining the lives of other people. Okay? This entire network. Okay? Watch this. So we know about that part, embedding genetic instructions, okay, of a virus nanoparticle which can be injected into a person, okay? That's not what we're going. This is where we're going. I hope you're sitting down. Okay, so mRNA, quack, 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 is a software. It's a digital software that operates like a computer. Are you sitting down? Operates, sorry, on a computer. A weblog entry. Okay, so for anyone calling me a conspiracy theorist, listen carefully to what a military industrial complex contracting firm has to say about the technology. I want to zoom this so you can see. I want to zoom this so you can see. Okay? Okay. This is a military industrial complex company, not me. Military industrial complex that specializes in biotech. So it's not the old Renetta conspiracy theorist saying this, okay? This is military industrial complex saying this. If a hacker took over your inner, that means the nanotechnology devices in your body, they could demand a ransom with fatal consequences. He's saying the military industrial complex biotech security firm is saying if you put an operating system in people's bodies using nanotechnology, a biohacker could take over the devices in the person's body and demand them pay a ransom to release their bodies. If you are unwilling to pay, watch this, they could easily turn your body against you, make you suffer, get sick, or kill you. Did everyone read what I just posted? No, no, no. Did everyone hear what I just said? Because I don't think you heard what I just said. Because if you heard what I just said, you would be shocked. Let me say it again. This is not conspiracy theorist Renetta. This is a military industrial complex biotech security firm. I'm not yelling at you guys. I'm just passionate. I'm sorry. I'm not yelling. I just get very passionate. That's just how I am. It's saying a hacker could take over the nanotech in your body, could then demand a ransom from you to release your body with fatal consequences. If you cannot pay the ransom to release your body, the biohacker could turn your body against you, make you suffer or get sick, if not kill you. I would like to add, turn you into a criminal. Is anyone? I said, is anyone? I said, is anyone on earth tonight? I said, is anyone on planet earth tonight? Didn't I tell every one of my followers, do not take the squibbly dibbly? Didn't I say to my followers, they're going to roll out the squibbly dibbly? They're going to roll out Liquid Lucifer. They're going to roll out Jim Jones. They're going to roll out Satan's serum. Didn't I beg my followers? Didn't I plead with them? Didn't I cry? I yelled, I screamed, I said, you have no idea what this is. Run, 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 run. I said, put on Usain Bolt's Nikes and run, 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 run. You're dealing with a level of evil that the human mind cannot understand. And these people believe they are Osiris. Their women are Isis. And they are going to give birth to Horus. And they believe they're going to give birth to Horus. But in fact, they're going to whore us. They believe they descend from Isis. They believe their women are Isis. Their men are Osiris. And they believe they are going to give birth to their Messiah, Horus. In fact, they're going to make whores of us. Didn't I tell you run? Didn't I tell you not to take the liquid Lucifer? Didn't I beg you? I said, run from the Satan serum. It is Lucifer and his children. It is Lucifer and his children. Didn't I tell you Lucifer and his children are in there? Didn't I tell you Lucifer and his children are in there? Let's continue. It gets worse. It gets worse. We might as well get on with it because it gets worse. It gets worse. Let me continue. The possibility that someone could literally manage our bodies through Internet of Things network of nanoparticles, controllable by AI, operated through a 5G system, to put it mildly, shockingly disturbing. It gets worse. The potential consequences of misusing this technology are horrendous. It gets worse. By the way, you realize, America, let me read the last part again because I need to hit you with something. Let me read this again before we go on. A military industrial complex contracting firm said this about what the insectoid and Jeffrey Epstein were up to. It said if a hacker took over your inner nanotechnology devices, the tech in your body, from the quack, 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 they could demand a ransom with fatal consequences. If you are unable or willing to pay, they could easily turn your body against you, make you suffer, make you sick, kill you, or turn you into a criminal, or turn you into a prostitute, or turn you into a drunk. Hold on. Didn't they inject the military with this? Is anybody on planet Earth today? Didn't they force this on the US military? No, you guys ain't catching what I'm telling you. No, you guys ain't catching what I'm telling you. If he's saying they could hold the body of the person ransom if they don't pay, can't you hold the U.S. military ransom if you don't comply? Oh, insightful. You're awake. Okay, you're awake. You're awake. If they injected this into the military, can a nation state biohack the military and hold it ransom? Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates. Let me say it again, because I don't think people are hearing. And I'm not yelling at you guys. I just get passionate. I'm just a very passionate, excited person. Okay? When something sparks my interest, I go after it and I get hot as hell. I'm just passionate. And I'm not going to change who I am. I can't. Let me say it again. If you just injected this into the military, let me ask you a question. Are guns the weapons of the 21st century? Or is it cybernetics, the weapons of the 21st century? If I'm a foreign government, if I am Iran, if I am Russia, I don't have to drop bombs on America. I just biohack your army and take them over. People, wake up. And you're trying to convince me Epstein is dead. Do I look stupid? The pilots dying in flight, your trains crashing. I don't have to fire a shot to take down the United States. You just took it down for me. Didn't I say, don't take this? Didn't I say, this is a trap? Didn't I say Lucifer and his children were in this shit? Your trains are crashing and they don't know why. Your planes have to be grounded and they don't know why. Pilots are dying in flight and they don't know why. Your internet went down and they don't know why. People are dropping like flies and they don't know. Didn't I say do not inject this shit into your body? I am the leading expert. There is no one on this planet that can tell you how this tech operates better than me. Because I lived with this technology in my body and I fought it long before anybody else woke up. I know this technology and I know what it's capable of. They injected it into the entire US military. And you're coming to tell me guns, tanks, jets are the most advanced weapons? America, you need to change the battlefield. But I'll leave that there because no matter how I tell the zombies what's going on, they just always hate me and they don't listen. I don't care anymore. Let's continue about the demoniacs. Let's continue. Epstein's compartmentalized underground. I don't care what people say about me. If I like something, if I'm excited about something, I get hot and bothered. That's just how I am. I get hot and bothered. Okay? I'm just passionate. It's just me. Like it, don't like it, I don't care. Let's continue. Let us explore additional connections of this network with Epstein, which actually make our hypothesis of biohacking humanity quite credible. Understand, I'm showing you the nature of who was the first person on earth to tell you that all the drug addicts were created with technology. Who was the first person to tell you that all the people who are mentally ill because of technology? Who was the first person to tell you that all the criminals are criminals because of technology? They finally woke up. Now we're in a different level of warfare. Understand the level of warfare we're in. And all the people buying guns, buying guns, buying guns. Let me tell you something. People, if you have this technology in you, they are telling you, we can make you turn that gun on yourself. This is why I tell people, enlarge your spirit. Know your thoughts. Practice self-control. Run from evil. Curse evil. This is why I've been giving you guys the keys for years. Why? Because I know the technology. It gets worse. Let's continue. Okay, so compartmentalization. Epstein had an executive assistant, Espinosa, with whom the Alpine security founder, the nanotech, IoT, 5G blogger above, shares the same last name. The Alpine military industrial complex, Jeffrey Epstein. Alpine security is focused on ransomware, taking over. Watch this. Ransomware and healthcare. You guys are not understanding what I'm telling you. When I'm done with this, run from every needle. Listen to me. Not one needle, not two needles, not three. Run from all of them. It gets worse. Let me break it down. So Alpine, that's the military industrial complex. They specialize in ransomware and healthcare security. Ransomware. Ransomware is when someone takes over your electronics and you got to pay for them to release it. Okay? Watch this. Namely, protecting medical devices from profit, terror, assassination, and enemy advancement. Hold on. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. If the tech is in your body, then you're going to need ransomware to protect the medical devices in your body. Understand, this is called the biosecurity state, and your body has to be trusted. Remember when I told you guys, incorporate your bodies? Does anyone remember me saying, incorporate your bodies? Incorporate, incorporate. No, do not become a national. If you become a national and your body's not incorporated, another company can come and take your body and you have no rights. If you incorporate your body, that company that's trying to impose upon your body, you can then lean them because now you own your corporation. Becoming a national is not what's going to save you. I gave you the blueprint to save yourself from the demoniacs. How did I know? Because they did it to me. My body was used to build the biosecurity state. It gets worse. The founder of the company originates without a shadow of a doubt from the military industrial complex. Okay, Okay, Epstein is connected with Cyber Reason. Let me show you who's behind this. Another shadowy tech firm, deeply connected to Unit 8200 in the IDF. You know the trolls online that say black people are this and white people are that? It's controlled by Unit 8200. So who is behind putting the cyber tech in people's bodies and holding their bodies for ransom? Who thinks that when they inject their male DNA to their female DNA, they believe they're going to bring about their Messiah? Who's behind it? It gets worse. It gets worse. Watch this. Their portfolio includes anti-ransom. You're going to have to pay them to unhack you out. Let me tell you something. There is one group in the United States that knows about this and specialize in hacking people out. I'm going to tell you who it is. Okay? Everyone press 1 if you read that. Press 1 if you read that. I know we're going on long, but you needed to get this meat. Okay? They specialize. Let me tell you, the last I heard, it cost the only way to get out of it is to be hacked out of it. Otherwise, you are owned by the when I told you the knowledge is corrupted, look at the last 3 letters. E-L means God. Listen, it took me 20 years to figure out who purchased me. Not only did they buy me, they purchased me like a slave, and they were data mining my body to become rich off of crypto. The group on the screen. Okay? Took me close to 20 years to figure out who did it to me and how they did it. I'm not telling you this as a researcher. I'm telling you this because I lived it. It gets worse. Let's continue. Okay, hold on. So, the 13 tribe. Okay, the 13 tribe. All right, so anti-ransom and healthcare. Anti-ransom and healthcare. Let me say it again. Anti-ransom and healthcare. Why healthcare? Because your body is the final frontier. And the jewels, the jewels, the jewels, the precious stones on the ephod, the 13 tribe is trying to take over healthcare because it's not health, it's hell. With a TH at the end. The jewels, the jewels, the precious stones are trying to get in your body. They're the ones behind this. Let me continue. It gets worse. Hold on, there's something else I want to show you. Hold on. Okay, watch this. So when you think you're arguing with a white supremacist, or you're arguing with a black supremacist, or you're arguing with a racist, or you walk down the street and someone starts cursing you out for no reason, they're taking over. The jewels, the jewels, the precious stones have put technology in people's bodies, and they are bioengineering, bioengineering the people to be racist so they can bring about a race war. They are bioengineering people to be drug addicts. They are bioengineering people to be sick. They're bioengineering people to be crazy. The jewels are the ones behind this. Let's continue. Guess who's? Cyber Reason's proprietary AI-powered data analytics engine, which Prime Minister Netanyahu, not me, Prime Minister Netanyahu, said the supercomputer is in Israel and we got all your DNA. That's what he said, not me. Built-in forensic capabilities correlate data, attributes, and behavior. Behavior. What the hell is technology doing changing my behavior? The jewels, the precious stones, the rubies, the diamonds, the sapphires are behind this. Hold on, it gets worse. I haven't even hit you with the worst yet. All right, are you ready for this? Who was the one that's been saying for donkey, do not put this in a soldier. Do not put this in your military. Do not put this in your national security. Do not put the liquid Lucifer and his children. Do not put Lucifer and his children into anyone who guards your critical infrastructure. Listen to the specialists. With only a bit of educated imagination, this cyber technology, if when combined with biotechnology, could lead to a total military-style takeover of humanity. We are only one step away from developing. Hold on. Everybody press 1 if you're sitting down, because you got to sit down for this part. Oh, you got to sit down for this part. Only 2 people are sitting down? 3? Who was the one that told you they're creating criminals? Who was the one that told you they're creating pedophiles? Who was the one that told you they're creating racists? Who was the one that told you they're creating poverty? Who was the one that told you they're creating mad people, cuckoo people, crazy people? Who was the one that told you they're creating diseases? I called it technological diseases. Who was the one that told you all these things? All right, here we go. I'm about to tell you what they injected into people's bodies. I hope you're sitting down. It seems that we are only a step away from developing search and destroy capabilities powered by AI. State-of-the-art cyber command centers and vaccine-injected hackable nanotechnology devices, weaponized as a form of bioterrorism, and one step removed from whom? Jeffrey Epstein, Terminator AI. That is what they injected into the human race, people. Don't let them tell you, Oh, we haven't developed it yet. They are telling you they injected into people Terminator. Who was the one that said don't put this in your military? Who was the one that told you put on your Nikes and run like Usain Bolt? Jeffrey Epstein was working on Terminator AI digital software to be injected into the bodies of people. Hold on, it gets worse. It gets worse. Initiatives, watch this, such as digital ID implants. Who was the one that told you that the so-called train wreck in Ohio was the AI that did it? Nobody listened to me. Let me tell you how I know it was the AI. Before the train crashed, they rolled out digital IDs in Ohio. I said, oh Lord, they just released the killer AI into the grid in Ohio. They released digital ID in Ohio. Less than a week later, the train wreck nuking East Palestine, Ohio. You think I know what I'm talking about? There is no expert on the planet who knows this technology better than me. There is no one on earth that knows this technology better than me. There is no one. And I dare say, I am the person who can tell it, stop. There is no one on earth that can do this. Okay? I'm not boasting, I'm telling you. I am the one telling people. Guns? Are you kidding me? You're fighting spiders. I am the one telling them, shut it down. There will come a point you will not be able to control this thing, and you will not be hiding in your continuity of government underground base from this thing. Let me continue, it gets worse. Okay, so the digital IDs from the insectoid and the other creature from space, Rockefeller, could only make the process of search and destroy fast and easier to manage. They just injected into people Terminator AI. Let me continue. If we combine that technology with implants, wirelessly tracking and transmitting real-time data from nerves, organs, and muscle, the bio-hybrid DNA creepy crawler nanobots 5G state-of-the-art cyber command centers, the hackable network for remote controlling humanity is all in place. It gets worse. Guess what? Another spider in the web. Who told you it was spiders? Who told you we're fighting spiders? I know this live stream is long, but bear with me. It's 2 hours. We're almost done. Who told you? Who was the first person on earth who told you we're fighting spiders? Who told you we're fighting arachnids? And was laughed at and nobody believed. Spider in the web. Let's continue. Hold on. There's a part of this that I missed. Let me go back to the top because there's something I need you to catch. Okay? Let's go back to the top. Then we're done. Okay? I'm going to read this. Okay? If I read between the lines correctly, let me read from the beginning. Could it be that the quaxine they want to push on us using the fake plan demon are connected to some kind of deranged transhumanistic scenario? Apparently, Epstein wanted to seed the entire race with his DNA. If I read between the lines correctly, the fulfillment of this deed would take injecting his genetic code into the DNA of every human. Let me ask you a question. Press 1 if you heard what I just said, because you can't miss this. I'll wait, and then we're done. Press 1, because you can't miss this. And I'm sorry, I'm not yelling. I'm just a passionate person. I get very passionate, especially when I see trouble coming and I warn people and then they don't listen to me and then they suffer for it. Thank you. Let me read that again. So Epstein was in New Mexico, allegedly impregnating kidnapped young girl children and using his penis to inject his DNA. But that's not what he was doing, because Jeffrey Epstein was working with Harvard and MIT scientists who were involved in biotech. Okay? So he was not injecting his sperm because he had no penis. Jeffrey Epstein was injecting his genetic code. Let's read. If I read between the lines correctly, the fulfillment of this deed, his mission was to create a race of pedophiles, Epsteinian chimera. Jeffrey Epstein's goal was to create a race. Remember, back to the back of the dollar bill. It is not the ancient Egyptians who are behind this. It is the demoniac who control the banking industry that are behind this. Because the Zionist Christians are going to come out and tell you it's the pharaohs. No, it is not. Let me say it again. They're going to come out, the Christians and the jewel lovers and the jewel zombies are going to come out and they're going to say it's the pharaohs. No, it's not. They have nothing to do with the pharaohs. These are demoniacs. They have the testament of the greatness of the pharaohs. What we have from them, these demoniacs, is slavery, organ harvesting, organ trafficking, ritual murder, disappearing children, pedophilia. They're not the same. They're not the same people. We have the glorious 10,000 plus year history of Egypt. But they want you to think it's Egypt doing this. No, it is not. It has nothing to do with Egypt. These are hijackers. The same way they hijack people's DNA to do this shit. Now let me get the brass tacks. Listen to my question carefully. Whose DNA is in the vaccine? We know Lucifer is in there. Who are the other two who are in the vaccine, people? Let me say this again. It is not the pharaohs behind this. We have the glorious history of the pharaohs. So when the Christians come to tell you it's the pharaohs, no, it ain't. Because we have their history. The pharaohs built their civilization, not tear it down. Big difference. I'm asking a question. Whose DNA is in the vaccines? Whose DNA? There are two people that they're telling you. But somebody woke up this morning and had some coffee. When a person took the quack, 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 Who did they inject into their bodies, people? Lucifer first, the insectoid second, and the child trafficker third. Let me say this again. When the people took the quack, 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 who did they inject into their bodies? The insectoid and the child trafficker. These are who is inside of the injected. When you talk to a person and they have been quack, 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 you are talking to Epstein and Bill Gates. When you are having sex with someone who's been quack, 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 you are having sex with Epstein and Bill Gates. When you get pregnant, when you get impregnated, if you get impregnated, because Bill Gates don't like children. When you are impregnating, if you get impregnated, you are being impregnated if you get impregnated by Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates. When you hear voices in your head, you are not crazy. It's Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates. When you get sick, it is Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates making you sick. When you go crazy, it is Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates making you crazy. Hold on, it gets worse. I'm not going to go into it, but watch this. Because all of you are going to know this. This is the most important thing I need you guys to see. Okay, let's look at this. Remember, does anyone remember SVB Bank in the news? SVB Bank. Does anyone remember? Do you know what this bank? Press 1 if you know SVB Bank from the news. Okay. Okay, Silicon Valley Bank. Does everyone know what this bank was involved in? I'm going to reiterate. The pharaohs have nothing to do with this. These are entities that hijack culture and say it's theirs. SVB Bank, Silicon Valley Bank. Silicon Valley Bank was involved in, you guessed it, biotech. And before the bank allegedly crashed, they stole all the money from the bank. And do you want to know where that bank goes back to And the majority of people involved in that bank, where they're from, take a wild guess, people. By the way, let me tell you what the bank is involved in. Biopharma and health tech. Oh, somebody had their coffee. Oh, somebody had their coffee. Look on the screen, people. The country associated with that bank is on the screen. So who do you think is attempting to fulfill this? Who do you think is trying to make the world believe that they are pharaohs? Who do you think is trying to make the world believe that they are the pharaohs, which they are not? They are demoniacs. We have the history of Egypt. It's over 10,000 years of building, not destroying, building. So don't come with your demon and your demonic God who destroys everything, and then they're going to blame it on the pharaohs of Egypt. Who do you think is behind this one world order where they're going to take the left side of the seal, break the left side of the seal, take the right side of the seal, break the right side of the seal, and create their one new human with no sex under their God, and then call it Egyptian? Joe E. Bill Gates is not Caucasian. Bill Gates is a Jew. Somebody had their coffee tonight. Okay? Their interpretation of Ausa and Auset is to bring about their Heru. But that's not all they're trying to do. Look at the right side of the seal. Their one-eyed God and their freakish looking women is going to bring about, their chimeric women is going to bring about one sex using zero. Don't forget, this money is controlled by the jewels. Their one-eyed God and their chimera-looking female is going to bring about one sex using zeros and ones, and the Egyptians are going to get blamed for it. And this is not the accurate interpretation. The accurate interpretation is the male phallus goes into the female to create a child. That is the correct interpretation, but not to these demoniacs. These demoniacs want their one-eyed God and their chimeric female to bring about one sex. Their Baphomet, their God that has both male and female parts. And I'm not talking about hermaphrodite. I'm talking about a chimera. Using zeros. Look at the seals, people. And one. And they're going to blame, and the people are going to say it's pharaohs. And I say, hell no, it's not. We got 10,000 years of the pharaohs building civilizations, not destroying it. But we got 2,000 years of these demoniacs destroying civilization, bloodshed, 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 killing, death, chaos, destruction. 2,000 years. Even Jesus, who never existed, had to take a cat of nine tails and beat the shit out of these bankers and run them out of the church. Jesus said, they are not the people of the book. They are fakeroos. They are impersonators. Jesus said it. Because the male and the female will always give you the child. That is not what it's saying behind this note. They're saying their one-eyed God is going to impregnate a female chimera. And you're going to get one new race and one new God. And they're going to use zeros and ones to do it. That is what the demoniacs are telling you they're about to do. And because the seals are Egyptian, the zombies will say this is ancient Egypt. No, it is not. It's those who steal people's identities, who steal people's cultures, who steal their wealth, who steal their land, who steal their names, who impersonate people, and they get away with it, and they continue to get away with it. And when they get busted, they cry victim. My words will be fulfilled, but they will not blame the pharaohs, because the pharaohs are not behind this. Let me tell you what happened to me, and I'm done. Jesus said, these are fakes you're dealing with. Jesus got crucified because he said to them, you are a pack of snakes. You are not the children of Abraham. That's not me. That's what Jesus said. Jesus said you are a pack of vipers. Jesus called them snakes. Maybe Jesus saw them for what they were. In the book of Revelation, it says very clearly, they're not who you think they are. You're dealing with the synagogue of Satan. Impersonators. When someone changes their names, they change their names to hide their identity. Why would you change the name Jacob to Israel? Jacob means people. Break the code. It means to deceive. That is what Jacob means. No God is going to choose a deceiver. Israel means one who fights with God. No God is going to choose a bunch of stubborn, hard-headed demoniacs. Jacob means to deceive. How can you say you come from a bloodline of someone who's deceptive? Not only is he deceptive, he was a thief. Steal. He stole his brother's identity and he never paid for it. That is what they do. So now you see they're about to bring about the new world order and they're going to blame the ancient Egyptians. No, you're dealing with deceivers. Jacob is his name. He changed his name. It didn't say he changed his nature. He's still a thief. He's still a crook. Now he's stealing the history of ancient Egypt, a glorious history, and corrupting it with perverse knowledge. And then the people will believe it's the ancient Egyptians. I'll wrap it up with this because I talk too much. Let me tell you, when I went to North Carolina, I'm done. Let me stop sharing. When I went to North Carolina, okay, I went to a lake and we took pictures of the ETs. And the ETs came out in their UFOs and they did like a salute. Okay. In their salute, they made two eyes. Matter of fact, I should show you what they did. Let me show you what they did. Okay. You see these two circles on the screen? God is my witness, they did this. Okay. They took their UFOs and they created two eyes. We filmed all of this. I couldn't film it on my phone because my phone miraculously got shut off, whatever. But the person I was with was able to film the entire thing on their phone. Everyone, I want your attention. Press 1 if I got your attention, and then I'm done. This live stream is to save your life so that you don't follow Jacob. You're not supposed to follow deceivers. Jesus told you, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. Jesus told you, my sheep would never follow a deceiver. That is Jacob. He told you. Jesus told you, my sheep know my voice. He would never follow a deceiver. Deceiver means Jacob. Let me leave that. Everyone's listening. Let's continue. Brass tacks. I'm telling you this to save your life. Okay? I'm telling you this to save your life. Because I'm giving my life. Because they already put this fucked up shit in my body and trafficked me and made a ton of money. And I vowed, if I save one life and protect one life from these demoniacs, I would have fulfilled my mission. But people, you got to listen because I don't play games. I'm not bribed to lie. Nobody bribes me, and I am hated because I tell the people the truth and I don't play favorites. I went to North Carolina and I was told by the aliens, I want you to go to the lake. We're going to show up. Okay? True story. The ETs. Okay? So the person I was with, I told them, I said, listen, my guardians wants to meet you. So the person goes, your guardians? I said, yeah, the ETs that protect me. So the person thought I was crazy. I said, listen, I don't fool around. Okay? I said, I'm telling you, what protects me wants to meet you, wants to see you. They told me, go to the lake. So the person said, okay, I'll drive you to the lake. So we get to the lake and I said to them, okay, that side of the lake. So we went to that side of the lake and we went and we sat down. When we sat down, boom, all of a sudden, a fleet of UFOs come out. The person goes, hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. The person was in the military 20-something years. They go, hold on. That's not military craft. I said, I know. I told you. They go, wait. I've been in the military and I've flown on military craft. This ain't military. I said, I told you my protectors want to meet you. So the fleet came out and they did a salute. Why? I don't know, but they did a salute. Then they proceeded to break apart into, and they formed two circles, kind of like the back of the dollar bill. Two eyes in the sky, using multiple smaller craft that broke apart into. Then they began to beam down a light from the craft to where we are, and telepathically they were saying to me, they told me, they said, we are watching your every move, which I already knew. Resistor Radio said, Black Sunrise, this is not safe for you to talk about. Please stay protected. Let me tell you why it's safe for me to talk about. If you guys don't know, and I know, and the demoniacs know, okay, then if anything happens to me, how would you know who did it? You following? Okay? That is why you need to know. Okay? Let me continue. So, while we were sitting on the lake, they telepathically told me a couple of things, and I'm going to tell you what they are because you need to know. Because if anything happens to me, they either took me off the planet or the demoniacs got me, which ain't happening. Okay? When they broke up the fleet, a lot of things happened that night, but I'm going to tell you what you need to know. Telepathically, they were communicating with me and telling me a couple of things. One of the things they said to me, this was 2020, they said, listen to me carefully. They were communicating with me from the craft. So I turned to the person next to me. I said, do you hear anything? And they said, no. I said, okay, the message is for me. They said, listen carefully. They said, there is coming a ruler. Listen carefully. Do not forget what I'm telling you. They said, they are going to claim he is a pharaoh. Do not believe them. He's a hybrid and he's a fake. What's on your screen? Okay. The second thing they did, which is what they let the person next to me see, was this. They took the craft and then they wrote, yes, tech, T-E-K, let me write it down, tech. Yes, T-E-K, A-E-Y. Let me do this. The next thing they did, okay, was they wrote with their craft, yes, tech, T. Okay. After they told me, be very careful. They are planning to bring a world leader. They're going to say he is pharaonic blood. They told me, do not believe him. He is not of the bloodline of the pharaohs. He is a hybrid. He is a fake. He's a usurper. Then they proceeded to write, yes, tech, key. Then they did a salute. And just like that, they disappeared. If anyone knows what yes, tech, and key means, email me. Okay, guys, I'm done. Okay? There is a lot more that I can say. Okay? But I'm not going to say anything else. Guys, there's a lot going on in my life right now. To end this, I thank you guys for being with me. Okay? I'm doing fundraising. Okay? You can PayPal if you'd like to support. Guys, when I do these things, you got to understand. You guys don't even understand the level of hatred against me because I'm not a fake and I'm not a fraud. Nobody's paying me to lie to you and tell you foolishness. Okay? They violated my body without my consent, put this technology in me, data mined my body, and became rich off of technologically trafficking me, and then left me to die. And you see who's behind it. I make no bones about who's behind it, because I know I have the reports about who's behind it. No one is going to come and tell me they're innocent. No, they're not. What I will say is, are they all involved? I don't know. But here's what I will say. During 9/11, okay, I was in New York. When those buildings came down, there was only one group who did not show up to work in the building that day. I'll leave it there. Okay? And I was in New York. And I was in New York around one of them. And this is how I ended up with technology in my body, biohacked and trafficked. I know what I'm talking about. Okay? Let me tell you something else before I go. Okay? There is no such thing as cybersecurity. And I want businesses to understand where they're trying to take businesses. Okay? Let me explain something very carefully to companies, where they're trying to take companies. Listen to me carefully. Okay? Companies have spent billions of dollars to protect their systems from hackers. Companies, they just made you waste all of that money. If you forced your employees to take the boogie oogie oogie, the squiggly wiggly, the liquid Lucifer, the Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates' DNA, no data is safe. Listen to me carefully. I am telling you this so that you can get ahead of the pack, because I know you're listening. No security in your systems, corporations, are safe. Yes, Silicon Valley Bank pays the gang stalkers, and all of this goes back to the little strip in the Middle East, the ones who the Christians worship, the American Christians, the one who they worship. Okay? Listen carefully. This is for the corporations. Corporations, you spend billions in online security, not realizing that the demoniacs shifted security. And what they're going to force you into in order to run a corporation is biosecurity. Listen, I'm putting you ahead of the game, companies. And if you don't trust certificate, when I say trust, I don't mean trust HTTPS. I mean trust certificate of your employees' bodies. Your company and your company data is at stake because you put the jiggly wiggly into your employees. Is anybody listening? They are forcing companies into biosecurity. So two things are going to happen. It's either companies are going to hire people who are non-jiggly wiggly, or companies who cannot find people who are not jiggly wiggly. They're going to go into trust certificates for the person's body. And you're going to have to pay the strip in the Middle East, the jewels, the biohackers, The one who got bailouts at SVB Bank, you're going to have to pay them to protect the bodies of your employees from bio-ransomware. Okay? And that is how the little strip in the Middle East, and if you don't pay them, they will turn your employees against you, do hostile takeovers of your corporations, overthrow your companies, destroy your companies from within. If you don't have the jiggly wiggly, you're fine. You just have to remember they're putting it in meat and they're putting it in vegetables. So you're going to have to find a combination to break apart the bonds in the meat and in the vegetables. And I'll tell you what you use to do that. You use just a tad bit. That breaks apart. If it's in the body, you use that just a little bit. And back to the corporations, because I got to get this out to corporations. Corporations, you spend trillions of dollars in securitizing your computers, but then you were forced to give, not on Twitter, your employees the jiggly wiggly. The jiggly wiggly is controlled by the strip in the Middle East. I am telling you how the game is going to be played. Laugh at me all you want. Corporations are going to have to make a decision. You either hire people who are non-jiggly wiggly, or you're going to have to pay a monthly ransom fee to the strip in the Middle East so that they can issue trust certificates to protect the bodies of your employees from being biohacked, so that the bodies of your employees who are now interfaced with your computers does not sell out your patented, copywritten information. You understand how the game is being played? So you're going to have a choice. It's either you hire people who are non-jiggly wigglied, squibbly dibblied, liquid lucifered, Jim Jones joy jabbed, or they're going to force you, in order to keep your company, which they're going to destroy anyway because they're demoniacs. Okay? Guys, stay on topic. And I'm done. You're going to have to pay. Stay on topic, people. Corporations, you're going to have to pay a monthly subscription to biosecuritize your employees from being biohacked. U.S. military, you're going to have to either hack out the Army, hack out the Navy, hack out the Air Force, hack out the Marines, which can be done. You can hack them out of the system. And I know you know this. U.S. government, you're going to hack out the FBI, hack out the CIA, hack out the whoever else. Okay, and I know you know this, because that's how you get them out. You got to hack them out of the system. Or you have to pay the little strip in the Middle East, the one that sits next to Africa, Europe, and Asia, a subscription fee to protect the bodies of your employees in the biosecurity state. Don't say I didn't warn you, companies. So you got a choice to make. You CEOs have a choice to make. You'll be damned if you do, damned if you don't. Governments, local and state governments, because you never listen to me when I warn you guys about how the game is played. You're not listening to a researcher. You're listening to the #1 expert in this technology. Not even the inventor can tell you how this technology operates better than me. Those of you who are government officials, if you opt into the biosecurity state, which is a trust, in order for you to have anyone working in government, their bodies must be trusted. That means that the employees must have a certificate that their bodies are insured. Now, do you understand why I told people to incorporate their bodies? Why I told them in 2016, incorporate your body, take out insurance on your body. Now, do you guys see what I was talking about? All the way in 2016, you think you can become a state national and escape this shit? Let me continue. Government officials, because many of you are deluded, thinking that when your citizens become slaves and they become trusted, meaning that their body has been biosecuritized and now they can be hired, and you opt into the demoniac system. Let me explain how it works. You government officials do not control state assets. Is anybody in the building? Press one if you just hear what I said. Let me give you an example. What's a rich state in the United States? Someone call a very rich state in the United States. Let's do California, because that's run by demoniacs. Let's say the state of California opt into, now black people, do you understand why the state of California is giving reparations to only black people? And the black zombies are going to be like, woohoo, we're rich. And I'm like, good luck with that one. Now you understand why all of a sudden they want to give black people reparations? Because somebody injected black people. Oh, okay, Decoded. You know what time it is. They intend to make a kit. They're going to give black people hell, chaos, and hacking. Okay, anyway, let me continue. So let's do, okay, someone gave me a state, Connecticut. Okay, so let's say the state of Connecticut opt into the demoniac trust system, where they have to biosecuritize the little strip in the Middle East. They have to biosecuritize the citizens of Connecticut. Okay, because the legislators and the representatives are privy. Let me say this again, people. You got to catch what I'm saying, and then I'm done because I talk way too much. People think it's just the citizens that are going to go into slavery. And I'm like, you government officials, you're going to be greater slaves than us. Why? Because you're going to be privy to very critical government information. Your bodies are going to have to be trusted more than us. Is anybody in the building? So you officials who are like, aha, we're going to get control over our citizens and we're going to biosecuritize their bodies. Government officials, you are privy to more sensitive information than us regular zombies who you like to tax to death. Therefore, you will be paying a greater tax to the strip in the Middle East to biosecuritize your government bodies. Here's the second thing about the biosecurity state. In order for them to biosecuritize your body, they have to biosecuritize your body with collateral. Your body is the liability. The resources of Connecticut becomes the collateral. Is there anybody on planet Earth today? This video is going to be 3 hours long, so you guys got 2 weeks of videos to watch, because you're going to watch this over and over and over again, okay? They're going to have to collateralize the land of Connecticut, the land of California, because the liability is your body. The collateral in order for them to biosecuritize your body is going to be an asset. What do you think the asset is going to be? Your body is the liability. What do you think the asset is going to be, people? That they're going to use as collateral. If your body's the liability, what is the asset? The land, people. The resources of Connecticut. The resources of Texas. The resources of New York. The resources of California. The land will be the collateral where your body will be the liability. You want to know who has the equity? You think, hey, if it's my body, then I should get the equity. You're not the owner. Now you understand government officials. Who do you think gets the equity? The difference between the asset and the liability. Who do you think gets the equity? So those of you leaders who think you're going to put your population in slavery, you think your population is going into slavery when you are privy to more sensitive information in your role. No, your body is going to require a greater trust certificate. You following? And when I say trust certificate, I mean your body is the trust. But it's a liability. It's not considered an asset. The asset is going to be the land, and the equity is the difference between the two, which is how much money they can make off of you. You want to know how government officials they're going to make the money off of you? You want to know? Digital money. That means government officials, you will be data mined for Bitcoin and crypto. It's not just the taxpayers, government officials, CEOs of corporations. You're going to be data mined too. Because that's the equity. That's the equity. The equity is digital currency. The asset is the land, and the productivity and the liability goes to the trust, the biosecurity, the person. And you know who all of the digital wealth will go to? The one you are going to pay the fee, the trust certificate, your body. The land is not, the land is the collateral. Yes, eminent domain. They call it you will own nothing, you will have nothing, and you'll be happy. I call it you'll be broke, busted, crusted, musted, disgusted, coaxinated, and dying of myocarditis. Is anybody on earth today? That is what happens when you trust someone whose original name meant Jacob. Jacob means to deceive. Jesus said to you in the last day, Jesus was telling you the codes. In the last days, deceivers will abound. Deceive means Jacob. What does a deceiver do? A deceiver changed their identity. Jesus was telling you who is going to put you into slavery. Jacob. Who is Jacob today? Jacob changed his name to whom, people? Jesus gave you the code. He said deceivers. He said the mark of the end times is deception. Deception in Aramaic. Deception in Hebrew is Yaakov. Who did Yaakov change his name to? No one's writing it. Who did Yaakov change his name to? Who did Jacob change his name to? I'll write it, and I'll tell you what it means. And I'm going to break another biblical code. That's who Jacob changed his name to. That name means he who fights with God. What did Jesus say when he stood before the Pharisees? You can never be of Abraham. Notice he didn't say Isaac and Jacob. He said Abraham. He said, you can never be of Abraham. Listen carefully. Listen carefully to the code. I'm about to break another code. He's telling you who is going to enslave you in the last days. You blind bats, wake up. You have been hypnotized. Listen carefully to what Jesus said. He said, you don't come from Abraham. Notice he didn't say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because he knows, that's a deceptive bloodline. That's deceivers. Listen to what he said. He said, Abraham. He did not say Isaac and Jacob. Because that is a deceptive line. Listen to what he said. Let me break the code. He said, if you came from Abraham, you would do as Abraham do, which is the will of God. Let me show you the code. That word on the screen means he who fights with God and wins. Hold on. Jesus is saying, if you descend from Abraham, you're going to do the will of God. But that name means he who fights with God. He's telling you who's coming to enslave you. He's telling you who's behind the New World Order. He's telling you who's coming to kill you. He's telling you who's coming to destroy you. He told you the last days, deceivers shall abound. Deceivers mean Jacob. He's telling you that if you were of Abraham, you would submit to God. He said the fact that you don't submit to God means you are of a line that fights with God. Therefore, you can never be. You're an imposter. That is what Jesus said, and that is what got him killed. Then he told them they were a pack of snakes, which is exactly what they were. Jesus told you. It's codes, people. You got to break the codes. So, corporations, you're going to be enslaved like the rest of us. And you're going to be owned by two pedophiles. So you got a choice. Rise up and tell the demoniacs no. By the way, Jeffrey Epstein is still alive and still a pedophile. Rise up and tell the demoniacs no, we do not and will not be trusted to you where you data mine us, you get the equity, and we're your slaves? Are you crazy? That's what's coming. You're talking to someone who knows. All right, guys, I've said enough. So 3 hours. So you guys, again, thank you for joining me. I gave it all. I poured it all. You guys could continue worshiping Jacob, who is a deceiver, and the next demoniac, who means he who fights with God. And let me show you how wicked these people are. That name on the screen means he who fights with God. You put them next to people whose name is Islam. He who submits to God, and then shock the two of them fight. You see how wicked these people are? Do you see how wicked these people are? You take someone whose name means he who fights with God and puts him next to someone whose name means he who submits with God, and then shut, the region has no peace. Anyway, I told you guys who's going to enslave you. They're rolling out the helicopters because I'm talking too much truth. So the police state is sending the black helicopter. So let me get off screw tube. People, watch this video. Share this video. Watch this video. Watch the video. Watch the video and keep watching the video. Jacob means to deceive. When Jacob changed his name to the name on the screen, that name means he who fights with God. Jesus gave them a code. And for people who sing that there aren't codes in the Bible, let me ask you a question. Why did why did Peter say to Jesus, Master, why are you speaking in parables? He said, because it's given unto you to understand the keys to the kingdom of heaven, not to them. So anybody telling you that the Bible doesn't have codes didn't read the book, because Jesus spoke to them in codes. Okay? He said it's given unto you to understand the secrets of the kingdom, not to them. And I broke to you 2 codes. That line of Jacob are deceivers. They are not the children of Israel. Jesus told you that. When the deceivers stole what was not theirs, like thieves do, thieves change their identity. The thief who stole the bloodline, who stole the birthright of the original people, changed their identity from deceiver to he who fights with God. I'm telling you. So don't tell me Jesus don't speak in codes, when Jesus told Peter, I speak nothing but codes, because they are not privy to know this information. You are. I am telling you who's coming to enslave you and your children. Do what you want with it. And many of you are stubborn, stiff-necked, and hard-headed, only to wake up enslaved. People, you got a choice to make. You either opt in to be certified, for your body to be trusted. When your body and your land is trusted, you will not own a damn thing. Okay? Incorporate your body and take out insurance on your body. Okay, he said in his word is hidden from those who do not know and those who don't have a right to know. The Bible is nothing but codes, because Jesus spoke in parables. So don't tell me it's not a book of codes and you need to break it. And it's not a book of seals, because seals are codes that you need to break. Revelation is nothing but seals that need to be broken. Okay? All right? So I ain't making nothing up. And he told you the mark of the last day is deceit, meaning Jacob will abound. That's your last days. Okay? He told you who they were. Don't blame me. He told you. Anyway, and they're going to say, oh, she's twisting the word. Jesus said in the last days, deceivers will abound. Deceiver in Hebrew or Aramaic is Jacob. That's the word. He's telling you, Jacobs will abound. Anyway, guys, please, I look forward to your support. Thank you so much. People, do not look at what they did to me. Look at what they did to my beautiful, healthy, fit body. Look at the horrendous nightmare these people did to me. Look at what these devils did to Melinda. Okay? I am not saying they're all involved. What I'm saying is I'm exercising caution. Because when I lived in New York, none of them showed up to work in 4 buildings. None of them showed up to work on 9/11. Okay? That's all I'll say about this. None of them showed up to work on 9/11. I'm not saying they're all involved, but I am saying none of them showed up to work on 9/11. Do what you want with that information. I'll do what I want with it. As far as I'm concerned, I don't mess with Jacob. Guys, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. And please support me. I appreciate it. Remember, look at what they did to me. And look at what they did to Melinda. They did it on us before they rolled it out on everybody else. And it is one tribe who's behind it. And they don't want to pay. Guys, have a good evening. And please support me. Thank you and good night.